In previous videos, I was describing project management offices. What is a PMO? What is a project management office? And why do you need a PMO in your organization? Among many different benefits, we get more strategic alignment, better use of resources, resource management, portfolio selection and prioritization. We also get to create more governance, increase maturity, proficiency in project, program, and portfolio management. And in this video, I want to give you an overview. I'm going to provide other information about detailed project management office plan implementation or implementation plans. But I would like to give you an overview. What is a PMO? Benefits you can have in your organization, and now how you can adopt a PMO or implement a PMO in your organization. And it's important that you design your PMO properly. So the PMO design, here I am doing a summary, but you can use many different tools to design your PMO, include design thinking. You can use workshops, facilitation, business analysis. I'm going to describe some of these best practices. And you can also use the PMO value ring. I have other videos describing the PMO value ring, which is a methodology developed by the PMO Global Alliance. And there are 8 different steps in the PMO value ring where you can understand better the stakeholders' expectations and then move to the PMO definition. I'm going to describe this in another video. Once you have the project management office designed to your organization so that it fits your purpose, there's no one size fits all, you still have to be very careful in deployment and integration of the PMO into the project operations. You're probably going to define new processes, new structure, new software tools that you need, provide training, and so on. The implementation or adoption plan means that we have to transition this new structure into the daily routine or the daily activities of your organization, and that's a very important point. I organized this presentation into the assessment. You need to conduct any kind of assessment or evaluation. You may use different project and portfolio maturity models. You have, for example, the MMGP. I'm going to describe this model in another video. You have the OPM3 from PMI. It's not updated anymore, so it's discontinued, but you can check it out as a reference. It was a great model and you can take a look at it. You can use the P3M3, and also thinking about PMOs, you can check the P3O by Axelos. And I'm going to create specific videos about P3M3 and mostly about P3O, the project, program, portfolio, office. And once you conduct this maturity assessment, it might take a while. So some people ask, maybe this is your question, how long does it take to implement a PMO? It really depends on the functions you want to implement, the structure, the size of your organization, types of projects you have. So you really need to conduct an assessment, including maturity assessment, but also understanding the as-is or current situation. In your current situation, maybe you have different types of projects, lots of projects, you use agile projects, traditional projects, so all of that has to be taken into consideration. Also, you have to be very careful in understanding the organizational environment. If you have regulations, for example, if you have different software that you have to use and all of that. So as this situation, we use many different tools here. You might even use simple tools such as the root cause analysis, Fishbone, but you can use process mapping, you can use other different tools so that you have a better understanding of the big picture and the current situation. Once we have that, then based on the stakeholders' expectations, and that's when it's very useful to use the PMO value ring here, because you can understand the stakeholders' expectations, what are the benefits they want, the functions, the services that they want this PMO to provide internally. And then you are going to the next phase. I mentioned this phase here as the definition of the PMO. PMO definition, define a PMO, or create governance for this PMO. You're going to define the to-be situation, the PMO structure, staffing, functions. Then you are going to create methodology, you are going to create the templates, you're going to create anything that you believe it's needed in your organization. And this is based on the assessment, of course, so you have to understand where you are, the as-is situation, and where you want to be, the to-be future state situation. Once you have these definitions, and usually there is some overlapping between these two deliverables or two phases here, we start planning pilots. So you're going to implement the PMO in a department, in a particular project, so that you can understand and get some feedback from the execution or the pilot implementation, so that you can still update and change methods, templates, whatever is needed in your PMO before it's fully live. And in parallel with the maturity assessment, as is to-be situation, we have to be very careful in change management. Adoption, change, resistance, the stakeholders. So project management and the project management office might be a very new concept to your stakeholders and to your organization. It is important that we promote awareness. You can do this by training, you can do this using lectures, references, showing the benefits. It is very important that you do some endo-marketing and also promoting the concept of a PMO and project management. And as you're moving in this implementation, assessment, definition, adoption, and change, then we're moving to the maintain and sustaining phase, where we need more training, different training for project managers, for team members, maybe for business managers, for other people. This is going to be an ongoing activity, providing training every year, every other month, for example, depending on your organization. And then we can extend a roadmap for maturity for the project management office, so that you can still update and extend your methodology, adopt software tools, and maybe even new functions for the PMO. So you are implementing the PMO, and then you want to add coaching and mentoring, you want to provide other software tools, you want to create new methodologies, simple project versus large project, and so on. So the very important aspects to be successful in a PMO implementation is to keep it simple, and also it's important that we do this in a phased approach, so create stages, do the piloting. It is very important that you engage your stakeholders. Remember that when we are implementing a PMO, this might cause power shifts in the organization, and also you have different roles and responsibilities. It's very important that we create value, we add value to the stakeholders through the PMO. And also keep an eye on the organizational strategy, because the PMO is designed, it is supposed to deliver value to the organization, so to improve strategic planning, strategic execution through the project management office. So that's it. Leave your comments if you're implementing a PMO. Let me know if you need any other references about types of PMOs, PMO functions, PMO value ring, and other software tools for project management, portfolio management. Check other videos here on my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for the next videos.